Before we dig in, don't forget to subscribe for more forgotten survival tips, wartime recipes, and lost hacks from history that still work today. Every week we uncover how ordinary soldiers and families endured the impossible with nothing but creativity, courage, and a little luck. During World War II, food wasn't just scarce, it was precious. Soldiers, civilians and families across the world had to survive on rations so small they'd make most people today panic. But, necessity breeds ingenuity, and out of those desperate years came some of the most resourceful and filling recipes ever invented. Many of these dishes have vanished with time, but they were designed for one purpose: to keep you alive and strong, even when supplies were running out. Today they're being rediscovered by preppers, survivalists, and home cooks who want simple, shelf-stable meals that can weather any crisis. Let's step back in time and taste the 7 lost World War II food recipes that could still feed you through the hardest times. World War II soldiers couldn't rely on fancy meals, so they made trench stew, a throw-everything-in-the-pot meal using whatever they had: canned meat, stale bread, a handful of potatoes, maybe some wilted greens. It was cooked slowly over tiny field stoves or even tin can fires. Despite its humble ingredients, it was warm, filling, and nourishing, exactly what a freezing soldier needed. The modern version, you can recreate it by simmering beans, diced potatoes, a bit of meat, and vegetable scraps with a splash of vinegar or tomato paste. It's cheap, stores well, and honestly, it tastes better the longer it cooks. During the war, white flour was rationed, so families mixed it with whatever they could find: barley, cornmeal, potato flour, or even mashed parsnips. The result was victory bread, heavy but hearty, designed to stretch every grain. It lasted for days without molding and could be toasted, fried, or crumbled into soups. Soldiers' families baked it at home, often trading a loaf for other rationed goods. In a survival situation, this bread is a winner. It's filling, uses minimal ingredients, and requires no fancy yeast if you have a bit of baking powder or starter on hand. Eggs were rare during World War II, so cooks turned to powdered eggs from military rations or Lend-Lease shipments. With a little water, flour, and sugar, they created simple pancakes that could feed a family of 4 using only a handful of ingredients. These pancakes became a comfort food across war-torn countries, soft, warm, and nostalgic. Today, preppers love them because they can be made entirely from non-perishable pantry staples. When meat disappeared from markets, people got creative. Mock sausage rolls used oats, breadcrumbs, mashed beans, or lentils mixed with a spoonful of real meat fat or stock for flavor. Wrapped in a thin crust of wartime pastry, they looked like sausage rolls, and after a long day, that was enough. They were cheap, surprisingly tasty, and full of protein. Even without real meat, these rolls kept soldiers' families fed when ration cards were running thin. Modern survivalists would call it a high-protein, low-waste hack, turning scraps into a hearty meal that can last days. With coffee imports blocked, people turned to the land. Roasted dandelion roots became a common substitute, creating a dark, earthy brew that mimicked coffee's flavor and gave civilians something warm to sip when morale was low. It contained no caffeine, but it had vitamins, minerals, and a surprising bitterness that helped keep soldiers alert. In a crisis, dandelion coffee is easy to make anywhere. All you need are clean roots, a fire, and time to roast and grind them, proving again that nature often holds its own answers. Named after Lord Woolton, Britain's Minister of Food, this dish became a wartime staple. It was a simple vegetable pie: potatoes, carrots, turnips, and cauliflower, all baked under a crust of whole wheat pastry. No meat, no luxury, just pure nourishment. It kept millions alive and became a symbol of shared endurance. If you're cooking off-grid or under ration conditions, Woolton pie is the perfect blueprint. Low-cost, long-lasting ingredients that feed many and can be made with whatever you have in season. One of the most surprising wartime inventions came from desperate home bakers who, honestly, just missed the taste of dessert. With sugar and butter pretty scarce, they discovered that mashed potatoes could actually replace much of both, giving cakes this moist, rich texture. Cocoa powder was rationed, but if you had even just a spoonful, you could create a treat that really lifted everyone's spirits, especially the kids. This recipe survived the war as a secret family favorite. In today's prepper kitchens, it's a reminder that, comfort matters as much as calories when times are hard. World War II forced millions to get creative in the kitchen. Every ingredient had to count, and waste was almost a crime. Yet through that hardship, people found ways to survive, and, honestly, even thrive, with simple, clever meals that anyone could make from scraps. These lost recipes aren't just relics, they're actually blueprints for resilience. Whether you're getting ready for emergencies or just kinda curious about how our ancestors made do with almost nothing, these dishes prove one thing: survival really starts in the kitchen. So, the next time the pantry looks empty, remember the ingenuity of the World War II generation. They didn't need fast food or takeout, they made miracles from what they had. And if you'd like more forgotten recipes, survival tricks, and soldier stories from the greatest generation, just subscribe and stay tuned. We've got plenty more history worth tasting.